after I lost my sight, the person left. He said he was not interested in dating a blind girl like that.
Oh my
So
God. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Living Beyond Limitations. My name is Daniela Ibikiri, and I am your host. What would you do if you lost your sight at the peak of your life? Would you let your circumstance defeat you, or you would pick up the pieces of your life and keep going in life? Well, you would find out from my guest today, a very amazing being, Awashima Atu. Awashima is a professional counselor, a social entrepreneur, and facilitator, deeply passionate about inclusion and social justice. Dedicated advocate for persons with disabilities and survivors of gender-based violence. Awashima works tirelessly through the Kenya Ruwang Palm Foundation to promote equality and empower marginalized communities. Despite losing sight in 2019, Awashima's resilience has earned recognition, including the Outstanding Advocates Award 2022 and the Helping Hand Award 2024 for impactful contributions to disability advocacy and humanitarian services. Awashima's work includes volunteering with Redemption International for the Blind. Additionally, Awashima has collaborated with various organizations, leveraging experience and expertise. Awashima also participated at the Paralympics in Nigeria 2023, where she represented Plateau State and got a silver medal. Awashima lost aside at the peak of her life at age 25, but hasn't let her disability defeat her in any way, as her story is that of resilience and adaptability. Without further ado, let's meet Awashima Atu, joining us all the way from Jos. Hello, Shima. Welcome to Living Beyond Limitations.
thank you very much. Thanks for having
I'm excited having you here. Like, I have another female person with visual impairment. It's a lot of guys. I just had one
me.
female. Yeah. So I'm having a second person. And this is someone I've come to love because I
Thank
admire
you
a lot for our strength, our resilience. Yeah. So let me just go back to how I got to know Awashima. Yeah, so I listened to the Eclectic podcast hosted by my friend Eluka Udra. And I heard this person, she was all like, ah, just talking and laughing. I was like, what's this person? I've been on this journey for how many years, like before this person, and she's just, taking it with grace and all that. Like, please link me to this girl. I need to talk to her. Let me have like encouragement and inspiration from her. And she has done a good work at that, encouraging me, inspiring me, and motivating me. Thank you, Chima, for all
You're
you
just making me
do.
smile. Thank you.
All right. So, Shima, you lost your sight 5 years ago and you've navigated life and adapted to life well with visual impairment. Like, really, how do you do that? With all grace? Yes, I'm just like, how did you get to, move on so easily with visual impairment?
Um, Thank you for the question. I, it was not easy. It has not been easy, but I think it's just God's grace, I guess. I told someone recently that my name means has like different meanings. Awashma means uh, patience or perseverance or resilience. And I guess the name, just like most African names, followed me. Just very
Yeah.
resilient, and I decided at a point in time in my life that I wasn't going to allow this really control me too much like that. I'm going to control it.
Yeah,
So I guess that's just how I'm dealing with it. Yeah.
that's beautiful. Like you said, you told yourself you won't let it control you and you were going to control it. And I can see that in you. You are the one controlling it. And like you said, like I would always say your story is that of resilience. I never knew your name also means that. Seriously, I never knew. Like from the introduction, I like our story is that of resilience and adaptability. And I admire you a lot for your strength. Never knew
Thank
that
you.
means your
Thank you
name.
very much.
Yeah. Okay, so how did this happen?
Okay, well, in 2019, I finished school. I was also finished school 2017, but finished 2018. You know, Nigerian strikes and all.
Mm,
So I lost my sight in 2019
okay.
after a surgery. I'd always had glaucoma as a child. I was always
Mm,
going to the hospital for
okay.
checkups, back and forth. You know, they give me drugs and everything. And in 2019, that was after I was done with my university. The
Mm,
doctor said I needed to go for a surgery, and after the surgery, it was like early 2019. After the surgery, I couldn't see clearly like that, but
mm.
they're like, well, maybe it's the healing process. And, you know, later on, I just lost it completely in both
Wow.
eyes. And it was a
Wow.
very difficult time. Yeah. It's just like one day your whole life just changes like that without warning. And
Yeah.
it was really hard. Yes.
I can imagine like one day, she just woke up and everything just, like a totally different you. Did you feel at that point?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you were at the peak of your life, like you're just graduated, somewhat like,
Yeah.
okay, I need to
Fine
get a
girl.
job or I need to get
And
married right now at that age.
yeah.
So how did you feel about that?
I felt terrible. Like I can't even explain the things that I felt at that period because it was very difficult. I was waiting for my NYSC. I was supposed to go for NYSC. And you know, it's every young Nigerian's dream to go for NYSC.
Yeah.
I used to tell my family that when I go, I'll not even come back. Maybe I'll get a job there like that. And
Oh,
you know, I had my life all planned out,
plans.
and then that happened. And you know, it was very difficult. Like I can't even put it in words, like
Mm,
but I felt like dying at that point.
mm,
I had suicidal thoughts and I was really depressed. I was traumatized
oh.
like that. And yeah, I was in a very dark place at that period in time.
Did you go ahead to, any suicidal attempts like me?
No, I did not. I was not strong enough. And I thank God that I wasn't.
You checking out.
I was I was a chicken, or even foul them. I was.
So foul things. Oh my God. Like I can imagine depression,
Yeah.
having suicidal thoughts and okay. So did you still go ahead to the NYSC camp and how did you feel about that?
Yes, I went to the camp, but not the way I wanted to go. You know, and that was after my surgery. I was still in the healing process, so my eyes were still very fragile. And so my mom had to go with me to the camp
Um,
when so we stayed there for only like 3 days, so just to redeploy. And I met two lovely friends. They're young people. And I remember the other one was begging my mom to just allow me to stay there. She would take good care of me. My mom was like, no way. Because you know how they camp, they have all these like the bunks, this iron bunk, they were just so clustered in the room. My mom was
yeah.
like, imagine one day I'll stand up and then I'll hit my eye.
Oh my God.
And she was
Hmm.
like, no. Yeah, so I couldn't stay. I had to redeploy. I was supposed to cross river. Cross river. I
Oh
remember the place
wow.
was called Ububra. It was very far like that, some ambush like that. But it was an experience, and I really cried, especially the nights before we left the camp. I cried
Hmm.
because it was something I really wanted. I wanted to stay because I've heard of stories of NYSC, meeting friends,
Yeah.
networking, and that's something I really love, meeting new people and exploring new places like that. So I couldn't have that. I really cried before the night
Oh my
before we
God.
left. I deployed back as we deployed back to Jos. So after going to the camp, I when I got back, I started my rehabilitation at the School for the Blind Children in Gilbury. I started it for like a month before my NYC call letter came out. So when I went to the camp for the 3 days, my mom, I got back. I They posted me to the School for the Blind so that I could be running my rehabilitation and the NYC at the same time. So I go for lectures and then I still do my rehabilitation. Well, sorry, I go for lectures like that, my rehabilitation lectures, and then I still go for my NYC duties. I was made the counselor of the school. I used to like provide counseling services to the children, the blind children, and also even the rehabilitation class who were my mates. And the funny thing is that I was, telling them as a counselor, I have to be professional. So when they're talking to
Yeah.
me about like their problems and all, and which
Mm.
the problems were all facing the same problems of losing their sight. Because we had like different people in the class. I had soldiers who had lost their
Wow.
sight as a result of bomb blasts. I
Mm.
had I had a reverend. I had people that
Wow.
have finished secondary school, some people
Mm.
that were in the university when they lost their sight. So all of us were in the same class, and I was supposed to be giving counseling services to these people.
Yeah.
And honestly, I really tried because I'll be talking to them, I'll tell them it's going to be all right and blah blah blah. Well, while me myself, I didn't even believe it.
Yeah. Can you imagine? You, the
I,
counselor,
I did
counseling
not
people,
believe
and you
it.
needed counseling as well.
I didn't cancel, I did not believe it for once, but I used to tell them that it was going to be all right and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even
I
when some
can
of them wanted to
imagine.
drop out, I'll say, no, no, don't worry. I met really amazing couple members there that we
Hmm.
still keep in touch. I changed their minds about disability. And I
Yeah.
was interested in that whole place that had a disability. So
Wow.
it was fun. I did not have fun in the camp, but they really gave me
Yeah.
that interesting, feeling. And I remember some funny things that happen when we go to like CDS or clearance at the end of each month.
Mm.
Everybody wanted to hold my hand because they always had to go to the front.
Yeah.
And everybody will find that want to book, they'll say this month is me that work with Awashima to the front like that.
Oh,
It was really
beautiful.
nice. And we still keep in touch till today. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Service is always fun. Yeah. I still
Yeah.
have a couple of them, and the number one, my husband.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
that was it.
Oh, you just got me teary. Like I can just imagine. I know it's been a long time, but then like having to cry, not experiencing the whole because I really
Yeah.
enjoyed my NYC camp. Like that was where I met
Really,
my husband. Yes,
you see,
NYC
I never
camp.
had
So
that experience.
so I
Maybe
can
that's why I'm still
imagine
single
like
now. No. Maybe,
what?
maybe my husband too was in the camp too, like
Um,
you and your husband.
yeah, so like that experience, like I couldn't trade it for another thing.
You have to tell me that story one day.
I will. It was a beautiful one. So it just made me emotional, like, you didn't experience it as you would have wanted.
No.
Oh, well, one of those things. So how were you able to bounce back at that point?
Okay. So, how I was able to overcome this whole trauma and depression, I went for counseling at a point in time. Even though the counselor was not, she did not really understand how I really felt because
Mm.
for me, I felt like she was not really a person with a disability. This has never happened to her like
To
that. But I
her,
just needed,
yeah.
yeah, I just need someone to really talk to at that period. My family were also, really traumatized by everything, and I felt like talking to a total stranger was something that would help. I wanted to pour out my heart, like I had poured it
Yeah.
out, and I felt kind of better. But remember January 2021 was the day that I was at home. I was really broken. All my friends that we went to school were now working different
Hmm.
places, or they're getting married,
Um.
and then I was just stuck. I was just at home. I did not. It's like I don't have a future, and
Hmm.
I just, yeah, I was always crying. But that cry that day and the prayer that day was different. Like I was
Hmm.
just so tired of feeling so bitter and sad, and I told God to just take over. I just
Um.
decided that this was like it was enough. Like I wasn't going to hold on to the pain again. I just accepted it. When I during my rehabilitation, they will talk about acceptance of the
Okay.
condition, but you will just be listening to them like they don't even know what they're saying. But
Yeah.
that point, I really accepted it. That January 2021, I accepted. I was like, okay, I'm blind. This is here to stay. And
Hmm.
I felt so much better that day. Like I felt lighter. It was like something that just been lifted off. I started
Oh, your
laughing.
share. Yeah.
Yeah. I started finding things funny because I was not finding things funny at that point. When people are laughing, I'll be like, what is
Hmm.
funny? How can they
Hmm.
laugh?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that was really how I came to like accept, what had happened and stay living my life, more.
Okay. Yeah. That acceptance. Wow. For me, like it took years for me to accept that I have become a visually impaired person. So, you said something. You were like, you said, that 2021, you said, I am blind, and this is how it's going to be. Like in my head, why did you just accept, like, this is how it's going to be? Is it that you don't believe you're going to receive your sight again? Or you've come to terms that whatever, if I remain blind till I leave this earth, it is okay by me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is the thing. Like, I believe that regardless of what happened, it's fine. If spiritually speaking, it comes back. I still believe in miracles. I believe in God's miracles. But I
Okay.
feel like it doesn't come back. Humanly speaking, the way
Hmm.
it is now, it will not come back. But spiritually speaking, yes, it can. But regardless, if God decides to heal me, fine. If he doesn't, I can still stay like that till I die. So it's still going to be very fine. And I've come to like I've made peace with that fact, and that's what
Hmm.
just keeps me very happy every day of my life. Because you know that
Yeah.
sometimes persons with disabilities we keep holding on to that miracle
Hmm.
so much that we lose a lot of happiness, a lot of
Hmm.
things pass us by because we
Yeah.
are still holding on to that. And it's not our fault because the society where we grow up has
Hmm.
made us feel like if your problem is not fixed, you cannot fit in, which is not true. I've
Yeah.
made myself fit in really well, yeah. So some people might even say that you don't have faith, you don't believe in God and all those stuff like that. I don't know, I like to bother me when people talk like that. Like,
Okay.
I'm just very happy regardless of it.
Okay. Yeah, beautiful. That was going to be like the next question. Like, do you see like when people say, ah, you don't have faith, that's why you haven't received your sight back. And initially, like when this happened, did you feel like "Oh, you must have done something? You must have done something to offend God. That was why it happened to you.
Yeah, like, at that point, you're so vulnerable, both mentally, psychologically, and a lot of people were asking me, even pastors,
Mm.
your friends, they'll ask you, oh, what did you do? Think of something you did though that God will
Can you
punish you. And I
imagine?
remember, yeah, so I remember there was a pastor that told me, and I asked him, I said, sir, if God was to punish you for the one that you have done, which punishment is you? You should not be only your eyes, or maybe it should be something else. Maybe you would not be able to. yes, maybe you just lie down on the bed like a vegetable. So
Mm.
you get a lot of those kind of talks, a lot of, I call them stupid comments. And yes, they make you start thinking at a point, because at the point I was thinking like, okay, so what sin have I done that is worse than what others have done? I'm not saying singing is good or anything, but you start
Yeah.
asking yourself, what have I done
Mm.
that God is punishing me like this? Am I the only sinner like that? And
Yeah.
accepting it made me realize that was just people trying to, change my mind to be thinking that
Mm.
way. And had it been, I did not accept that happened, maybe I would still be thinking that way, that God was punishing me for something that
Yeah.
I've done, or maybe my family, or maybe my ancestors or something. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like if we don't, you know how the society is, faith, our belief. And when you keep thinking of all those things, you find it difficult to move on. Like, oh my God, I must have done something wrong. Like the way I felt, I was the worst sinner, or maybe I don't have enough faith. That's why I'm still like this. Like, you really don't know. We shouldn't be judgmental about our
Yeah.
faith, about people's
No,
faith.
not
Like,
at
you don't
all.
know, you're not God. Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, you lost your sight at the peak of your life. You were 25, like a whole lot of people, like, at 25, I'll get married, I'll get a job, and all. So, talking about marriage, do you still feel like, oh my God, if I hadn't lost my sight 5 years ago, I would have been married by now? And what's your
Yeah, I
perception
think so. I
about
think
marriage right now? Mm.
okay, so I think yes, I would have been married, because I think when I was growing up, I always wanted to marry and have a job at the age of 26. I don't know why
Okay.
I always say at 26 I'll be married like that. I wanted to marry
Mm.
young and have a
Yeah.
job, a family. So I was in a relationship by then,
Mm.
and it was a serious one. But after I lost my sight, the person left. He said he was not interested in dating a blind girl like that.
Oh my
So
God.
that's
Yeah.
how I lost the relationship. So yes, I would have maybe, if I had not lost it, but maybe that guy or another guy, maybe I'm sure I would have been married.
No.
But losing it, blindness and relationship is another issue entirely that is so
Yeah.
hard. Most times, yeah, so you meet a lot of guys that feel like you will not really be able to really be like your wife. I don't know.
Mm.
Sometimes you meet guys that their families, African and beliefs. Like
Yeah.
some people ask me if I can bear children.
Oh my
Um,
God. What has bearing children got to do with the eyes? Imagine.
I don't know that they will come through the eyes over. So like,
Maybe the babies will come through the eyes.
so you meet a lot of, a lot of preconceived notions like that.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but it's not like people don't come, but it's not everyone that they can date. Some people think that we don't have taste. Some people think that just because we are blind, we don't have taste. They just come to you like, you should be brave and I want to date you. No, no way. I have taste and I know what I want.
Mm.
Currently I'm not in a relationship. I've been in previous ones even as a blind girl. You asked me
Okay.
my perception of marriage. I can
Right
like,
now.
yes, I can still get married. I will get
Okay.
married.
Okay.
Even though I have the ability, it will never stop me from getting married, from having a
Yeah.
family,
Yeah.
enjoying that. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to the day that, that will happen. And
Oh.
I'm sure it's going to be, it's going to be really amazing. I look like a very romantic person, so I think I am. I don't know.
Oh, the way you speak, you're just soft spoken. Like, oh my God, I should just get you a husband already. Okay. Okay. Oh well. I join you in prayers that Prince Charming, yes, would come at the right time. Yeah, and you get married and have your family as you wish. Amen to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about what you do. You're passionate about inclusion and social justice. Where does that passion stem from? And can you tell us all you do?
So when I lost my sight in 2019, I realized that there were a lot of gaps, there were a lot of there, things that were not being done for the community of persons with disabilities. There was no inclusion, there was no justice for us, and I wanted to really want to stand in the gap. And for me, I feel like advocating or creating spaces for persons with disabilities. I'm also creating those spaces for myself. So
Yeah.
currently, I work with Carnegie Foundation for Education and Migration Awareness. It's
Okay.
an NGO here in Plateau State, and I am the Gender and Social Inclusion Officer. I make sure that, in the aspect of disability, persons with disabilities are included in all aspects, like the planning, the designing, the implementation of projects, and just make sure that everything, inclusion, is carried out. And
Mhm.
this has really helped, a lot of persons with disabilities creating jobs, starting up their own businesses, getting, work and stuff like that. So, and also the social justice, fighting for persons with disabilities that ordinarily cannot even fight for themselves. For
Mhm.
example, young girls with disabilities that are not even put in school just
Yeah.
because they are girls, and then the worst part, they have a disability like that. So I make sure that, I advocate, I fight for their rights, and even through from the government also. Like now I'm trying to fight for the rights of children with disabilities in public school, because like I have public schools that are close to in my community here, and I realize
Okay.
children with disabilities do not attend these schools. And it is their right. Why shouldn't they
Yeah.
go to such schools? And why just like how children without disabilities go there and they pay little money, why should a
Hmm.
child with a disability have to pay so much
Yes,
and not
exactly. Yeah. We include
it's
that.
very painful. These children should be given the opportunities to go to this public school. So like that is just an example of some of the social justice.
Beautiful. I love what you're doing. And your resilience has gotten you awards for all you do. So just share with us. Just talk about the awards you got.
Okay, so in 2021, I was selected for a fellowship program with Inclusive Friends Association. So I did a lot of projects around, inclusion, advocacy, gender-based violence, disability-based violence, like that. And then I won an award in 2022 for outstanding advocate. And I was really excited because it was
Oh,
really so for me, yeah, it was really encouraging. And then this year, 2024, this November, last month, November, I got an award. It was given to me by the School for the Blind. It was a Helping Hands Award for all the
wow.
things we've done. I've renovated their school. Even
Wow.
during my NYSC, even though I was going through depression, still I mobilized my NYSC people to um, renovate their assembly hall. We contributed from our own pocket, and we did that. I've
Wow.
gotten about 20 children scholarships, 20 blind children scholarships.
Wow.
Um, I have, carried out a lot of initiatives like an initiative I did this year, giving them reusable sanitary pads. These are girls that have never used sanitary pads
That's
before.
before. Oh
So
my God.
yeah, so like just doing basically that, and I was given an award for a Helping Hands Award. Then I've gotten a medal, a silver medal for my sports. I'm also into sports.
Yeah, beautiful. I was going to talk about that. Like you got a silver medal for
Yeah,
um participating in karate at the Paralympics
yeah.
2023. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
somebody
that was
like, how did you do it? Karate, like.
I
Wow,
even like
beautiful.
I don't know. Okay, so the coach, the sensei, like we call them, he approached me and told me that he would like to train me, and I don't know why. And I was even laughing. I was like, why? Because I wasn't really a sporty person like that. I've not. Well, I used to be when I was in secondary school, but like since losing my sight, I don't do anything physical like that. So he was like, you would like to train me, and I was like, really? Well, we started training, and then just a few months. Like I only trained for how many months? 4 months. And he told me that he wants me to represent Plateau State in the para sports at the national stadium. I was like, I even thought he was joking. And I even laughed. But my mom is like one of my biggest cheerleaders. So
Yeah.
she encouraged me to go for that.
Wow.
And I went, that was 2023, December. And yeah, I came back with a silver medal for Plateau State.
Wow.
We'll be going very soon. I hope to get this thing, that gold. I really want that gold.
Beautiful. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, what has been the most challenging thing for you transitioning from a sighted person to a non-sighted person?
Um, okay, one of the most challenging thing for me, I think, was trying to fit into the society was really, it has been challenging. It's been 5 years, but it's still kind of hard when,
Um,
especially in a place where there is no structure to really support you like that. It has really been challenging. If these systems or structures were put in place like that, it will not be as hard as it is. So, and
yeah.
then the culture, the preconceived notions of people
Mm,
around, the stigma, it's something that's, despite the fact that I've accepted my blindness and all, but at
yeah.
times, comments or people's attitude can really make you to like it's really challenging. It makes you feel, bad. I remember your blindness like that or your disability. Um, for example, where I work, sometimes on a project, somebody will be like, how can this blind girl be in charge of it and all like that?
Yeah.
So, and then they make it very difficult for you because they feel like you're dumb or you're stupid because you can't
Yeah.
see or like that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You said something, people's perception about persons with disability in general, like in your office, like how can this blind girl be leading this project and all those kind of things. And other perceptions like, well, as a person with disability, yeah, you have to look like a certain way. You're not supposed
Yeah.
to be like a fine person, like
Yeah.
just follow for the society. Because I remember when I came out last year to talk about to let the whole world know that I have been living with visual impairment for like 6 years, and a lot of people didn't know because that's some people had seen me like few times because of this little sight. They wouldn't know, but they don't know like I can barely see, and they'll just see me a
Yeah.
couple of times, and I comport myself, I walk with little or no assistance, like all those kind of things. And
Yeah.
when I told my friend, a lot of people are surprised that this person that I've seen like a couple of times. And she was like, say you be fine girl. How they won't take no. So, visual impaired person, blind person, you're not supposed to be
Yeah.
fine girl at all. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel like a fine girl because you have an impairment, like, just be fine
It's
girl at
very
all? How do you feel
annoying.
about that?
Like, it's annoying when people feel like just because you can't see, you should not be beautiful.
Mm,
At a point in time when you lose your sight later on, you feel like you're not beautiful anymore. That's how I felt at a point in time. And I had to
mm,
build my confidence up. Like, I
mm.
remember we have this very long standing mirror in the room. And I was just standing there, just saying, beautiful, get fine, yeah.
Aw.
I built my
Affirmations. You are
confidence.
affirming yourself.
Yes, I built my confidence right from this thing. And I know that I am a fine girl. Like, so when
Yeah.
people are even talking and saying, how can you be blind? Some people will be pitying you that you're this beautiful. Like, so should it
And
be
you're
all
fine.
just because? And then when you dress well, because I'm someone that really likes to dress well. I like to dress
Mm,
well, despite my disability. So when you go out, people just expect you to be very tattered, look like a
Mm.
beggar all the time.
Yes.
But yeah, so you see, these are some of the things that I'm trying to change.
Fine girl, you're beautiful. I just love you. I've said
Yes,
this,
so
I
are the
love you
fine
like how
girls, we are
many
the fine
times?
girls.
Please. I must commend your resilience. I mean, I would always say your story is that of resilience and adaptability. You've been able to adapt so well. I mean, you lost your sight after I did, like 2 years later, but then you adapted so well before me. I
Thank
admire
you.
you a lot for that. So as we
Thank
come
you.
to an end, what are your final words?
Um, disability comes sometimes you wouldn't know when to come. It's going to be hard. Even for
Mm,
us that have spent 5 years, 7 years, it's not
mm,
still easy.
yeah,
We just take it one day at a time. Just accept it, love yourself, try to build your confidence up, believe that you can do anything, and the sky will just be your limit. And for those that are not, persons with disabilities,
disability, yeah.
you should try and build systems, help in any way that you can, help a person with disability and stuff like that. Because for me, I always say that if a disability has not reached you, it has not passed you by.
Mm.
Never forget it. It could be you tomorrow. So yeah, just help a person with disability in any way that you can, like that. And yeah, it's going to be all right. That's last week, all right. So
Exactly. Last, we all go there, all right.
yeah.
Thank you so much for being
Thank
here,
you for having me. Thank you so
my
much.
girl. Thank you all for watching. I hope this inspires you to live beyond your limitations. Bye for now. Until next time.